Welcome back to my daily vlog. If you don't already know, I'm building a portfolio of internet ventures and digital agencies, all while juggling and prioritizing my family and my fitness journey. And it's not easy, if you can imagine, but I get it done. With that said, this episode, in the beginning of the episode, I really start to explore this idea of my experience of working with world-class leaders, world-class entrepreneurs, and what I've learned from their ability to navigate uncertainties. So with that said, I'm not going to take up more of your time. Check this out. I've had the opportunity to work around some world-class leaders. I mean, if I named their names, you'd be shocked. But what I noticed or what I observed around working directly with these type of leaders that are really moving the needle in their industries is they all have this ability to live in uncertainty or ambiguity and be able to function in it, and then have this sense of rigor and discipline to create value in the midst of that, even if it looks chaotic from the outside looking in. And I've seen it time and time again. It's almost amazing, and it's one of the characteristics and one of the traits that after watching this and seeing this, I've been able to develop and developing. And at first, this ability to be able to navigate uncertainty, I've always had that ability, but I didn't think of I took it for granted. I didn't think nothing of it until I saw how these world-class leaders operate in uncertainty and don't fold when there's not a rhyme or reason for something happening. And I've noticed I've had to use that skill more and more, especially as I'm building. And if you've been following along, you know I'm building from zero. I'm building from the ground. I'm building from the ground up. And it's a skill set that has to be developed. How you doing, sir? Yeah, it's a skill set that you don't even know you need it until you need it. And some of us do it without even thinking about it. But when you're aware and conscious of this skill of navigating and leading teams through uncertain situations, it's priceless. It's priceless. The other thing is, and this kind of goes towards it as well, is these leaders that I've observed have been able to keep this childlike wonder about everything, and are super curious, always asking questions. And again, these are skills that need to be developed, but you have to be aware of it first. And the childlike piece of it is just being curious. It's just not allowing your mind. It's so easy to live in conventional thinking. And that's okay if that's what you want. But if you're not looking to live a conventional life, then these two skills of being able to live in uncertainty and being able to maintain that childlike sense of wonder for as long as you can are key. With that said, I'm about to head in to get the workout on. Whew. There's two versions of Trey. There's fat Trey, and then there's fit Trey. I was talking to my wife this morning, and I was telling her fat Trey got the best of me this weekend. Eating wise, but not today. Not today. Fit Trey is on it. I feel good. My muscles feel really loose. I was just doing some sprints, and my legs feel really good. And I was just watching something on Twitter where someone was saying that most people stop sprinting, I think by the age of like 35 or something like that. But once I saw that stat, I was like, you know what? I'm coming out, I'm gonna do a few sprints. Because I don't want that statistic to apply to me. Because I know an 83-year-old man, Peter, he comes here, and I see him sprint up and back, and he's defying the odds of that statistic. Even my own dad, like, he's in his 70s. He's sprinting. So I'm defying the odds of that statistic. So I'm running some sprints right now. It's a great way to start your week with a good workout. And I really needed that. I needed that bad. That was good. Let's keep it moving. Most people think that entrepreneurship is about taking the risk. And I was just listening to a podcast, and the entrepreneur, he was an investor, and he was talking about how entrepreneurship is not really about risk. It's really about de-risking. The best entrepreneurs de-risk. So for instance, if you are being authentically yourself when it comes to your knowledge, your network, the education, the experience, even the skills that you develop over time, that's never, anytime you bet on those things, that's never a risk. Let me put it this way, you do de-risk any situation. Anytime you're betting on yourself in that way. But if you don't have the knowledge, if you don't have the network, if you don't have the education, the experience, or the skill sets, that's when risk starts to come in. So one of the things I'm always looking for is, like, how can I be authentically myself? So that's what this vlog is about, is like, it's rooted authentically in being myself. So no matter what I'm doing, I'm not here trying to create content for content's sake. I'm rooting it, it's not a risk, because I'm rooting it in my most authentic self. And because of that, it doesn't even feel like work. It's authentically me. And then what I'm finding is that I begin to attract the people, the places, and the things that I need to build the ventures that I'm building. And it's amazing how that works. That because I've been on that side of the fence where I'm doing something that's not authentically me, and it feels like a struggle. It feels like I'm forcing it, but it's just I burn out. I've burnt out before, and I've experienced extended burnout periods for weeks at a time, and sometimes it goes undetected until you break down, and that happened to me before, and a lot of that is being out of your purpose, forgetting your purpose and not being aligned. So that's one of the things that that you should think about is, are you betting on your most authentic self? You'll never lose betting on that. And because of that, and I was talking about this earlier, when you are in a time of uncertainty or ambiguity, you know what I'm saying? That type of situation, it's easier to manage. It's easier to manage because you know who you are. And that's what this is all about, is just continuous improvement, continuous growth, being transparent in my shortcomings and my failings, and learning, continuously learning. So I wanted to share that with you. I'm at Starbucks here. I'm about to head up to my office because I have to record those 2 other videos, and I'm not going to be able to do that here. So with that said, stay tuned. Earlier when I was at the gym, I was talking about there's 2 trays. There's Fit Tray and Fat Tray. And this weekend, Fat Tray won this weekend. But What's interesting is every time, like, so for instance, let me give you a story. So we went out, we had a taste for a burger. I haven't had a burger in a while because I've been eating relatively clean as I'm on this journey. But for some reason, I had a taste for a burger, and I got the burger, and it was great. But then I'm sitting there, I'm like, I can't eat a whole burger like I used to. That's Fit Trade talking. Even though Fat Trade was like, yo, let's get a burger, the fries, and the whole thing. But for some reason, I wasn't able, like, it wasn't the same, which is a good sign. I've been eating especially during the day, like, I've been eating very lean, a lot of protein. Excuse me. And that keeps me going. So when I eat more heavier meals, it's not the same like it used to. And the thing that I like is the fact that I have the voice of Fit Tray, looking at Fat Tray eating the food and saying, hey, I know you enjoyed it, I know it tasted good, but your body's not built like that anymore. So that voice of reason has been, I'm so glad I had that, because for so long I didn't have that voice of reason. Now I have that voice of reason in my mind. So this week I'm actually going to my family reunion, and as you know, there's going to be a lot of good food. So it's going to be interesting how I navigate through that. You make a decision beforehand on what you're going to do, and just maintaining my work. I have to check to see if there's a gym at the hotel we're going to be at, because that's going to be helpful. And then also I know on Saturday, so it's a whole weekend event. On Saturdays we usually do like a morning walk. So I can start to make decisions now that I can, get through the weekend. And don't get it twisted. I'm not going to deprive myself. I'm definitely not going to deprive myself. But at the same time, I have the choice. I can decide right now to continue to maintain, because it takes time to get back on track. So there's a cost associated with that. I just got to weigh out that cost with that. So with that said, I'm going to finish my lunch up. Then I'm going to head up to the office to begin recording these videos. I got 2 more to record for this week, and then keep it moving. And the biggest mistakes you can make when you're in that place of uncertainty, looking to see what path is going to unfold for you, is comparison. Once you start with comparing yourself when you're in that space of uncertainty, what happens is doubt creeps in, self-doubt creeps in, because what you're doing is you're looking at where you're at and where somebody else is at that kind of figured things out on their own, and you're making a comparison and you're looking forward. So one of the things I do to avoid that is I look backwards, and I say to myself, hey, look how far you've come, and almost create a spirit of gratitude around like how far you've come. And what happens is you'll start to see that doubt dissipate, because as soon as you start looking out into the future and comparing yourself, that's gonna steal the joy of building what you're building. But looking back and reminding yourself, look how far I've come, and be grateful for that, you'll start to see that doubt start to disappear, and then you can make the next steps will illuminate to you. So just a quick reminder. I wanted to remind myself. Also want to remind you, when you're in that position, you have a tool to know how to handle it. All right, I am done for the day. Just finished the last meeting, which was my family reunion. It was the last family reunion meeting before Thursday when it comes up. So looking forward to that. And with that said, if there's anything in this video that resonated with you, as you already know, if you've been following along, I opened up office hours Because we'd love to meet with you one-on-one for 15 minutes. If you're interested in entrepreneurship, if you're interested in, if you have a skill, if you're a designer, developer, investor, we'd love to chat with you about what we're building here. With that said, I have nothing else. Peace.